What's going on, everybody? This is Soulful, bringing you part 3 of Surviving Mars. Alright guys, so in this episode, what I'm actually going to go ahead and do is we're actually going to basically watch a time lapse. This video originally was about 40 minutes long, so I went ahead and I changed it into a quick time lapse. What we basically are going to see in this particular video is we're going to just basically work on expanding the base camp, adding more water sources, adding a few more production devices, so that way we can go ahead and start creating oxygen. We're also going to do a supply reshipment. So we're going to go ahead and get more supplies, so that way we can get some more drone hubs, and we can get some more robots. So basically we can expand more and get this colony started. The next stage after this point is to start bringing in colonists to the colony. We're going to also continue with the extraction of more research. So basically we're just going to, just a time-lapse video. I will come back periodically just to explain a little bit further what they're actually watching, or what you're pretty much watching when I'm doing the gameplay. So right then, you just saw me put some sensor towers down. What the sensor towers do is they actually shorten the amount of time it takes for the map to be scanned. So I put down quite a few of them because we need the map to get scanned like really quickly. So that's why we did that. And then there's going to be a technology that's in the research tree that allows us to be able to put research towers anywhere on the map, and they don't require any kind of power or maintenance. And that also will help increase the scanning of the map as well. But there's going to get to a point where the map's going to be fully scanned and you don't have to put so many towers down anymore. So just saying that out there. Alright, so right now we have currently one water source open. We're waiting for the first spaceship to get fully refueled so we can send it back. And that was the difference between using the International Mars program as part of the mission sponsor. The ships refuel automatically. They don't actually need a fueling hub for that to happen. So that is very useful. As you can see in this scene, there's visible surface metals that are on the ground. And luckily, we actually just went into a dust storm. So just like I said in episode 1, as part of the threats that you would face on the map, this is one of those threats, which is a dust storm, which clogs up all your equipment. Basically, if you have any air making machines, water vaporators, those will go offline because of the dust. It's going to be too overpowering for those things to be able to function properly, so they will go offline. So yeah, so this is where we are so far with this particular video. Definitely, if you haven't had the chance, go ahead and check out the first 2 videos. They definitely are really great. And also don't forget to hit that like button if you are enjoying the content that you are seeing here on SoulfulSax Gaming. Alright, so as I was telling you in the previous episode, there are anomalies that are on the map. The little yellow markers are what we call anomalies. The ones that are keys are enhancements. The ones that look like little beakers, that's research points. Alright, so we just got a milestone achieved by scanning our first anomaly. We're going to go ahead and scan the next one. And that, I mean, you can see with the dust storm, it makes it impossible to see pretty much anything. It gets kind of overcast. Even the spaceship can't take off or land during dust storms, so that can be kind of harmful, especially if you have colonists that are sitting on a spaceship waiting to land and they can't land for 2 or 3 days. So that can kind of suck. Alright, so while we wait for the dust storm to finish, we're gonna go ahead and queue up some more research. And as well, we're going to send out the transport robot to go ahead and look up more devices around the map. And I'm sorry, not devices, but more materials like metals and polymers that might be just on the surface laying around. And I'll come back to you guys once we move on to the next biggest step.
Research complete.
Sector scanned.
We've just found Beagle 2. Or at least what's left of it.
Sector scanned. Cable fault reported. Sector scanned.
Alright, now that we have the dust storm finished, we're going to send the ship back. Now, as you can see, the ship was considered a drone hub. So it was managing all the drones that we had on the map. Now we have to go and place a new drone commander down so that way it will manage everybody else.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found. Vehicle battery low. Sector scanned.
Alright, so right here, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're actually going to put down a landing pad because I'm foreshadowing that we're going to go ahead and get some more resupply ships to come back in. And since we have so much concrete, I felt it was best to get something cool that we can use. So we're going to have the drones go ahead and do the new landing pad, and there you go. Now that wasn't originally something that was supplied to us when the game was initially released, but it came in the first update. So, and what it does, it actually helps with the blast damage. Blast damage, like when the ships come down, the dust that they kick up can cause damage and force you to have to do maintenance to production of like machines and parts and extractors. So with a landing pad, it prevents that from happening. So that's a benefit. So as you can see right here, what we're doing is we're going to go ahead and we're restocking for a new supply ship to come in. We want to make sure we have an abundance of materials, which is the most ones that you're going to use the most of is polymers, machine parts, and electronics. So you want to make sure you have a good stock of them always on file because they get used up very quickly. As the days go by, devices require maintenance and it's going to eat through that stuff very quickly, so you want to always have a good supply of it on hand. And then you might get to a point where you might run out of money, so you might want to have a stockpile of resources sitting around just in case, so that way when you run out of money you don't have to worry about, oh, where am I going to get this supply ship from. There you go.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found. This is my official radio with Penn and Stay tuned, enjoy, take a break, and just chill. Our sounds will go down like an energy bill. Vehicle battery low. Sector scanned. Anomaly found. Breakthrough discovered.
Alright, so here we are. We're going to go ahead and bring in the new supply ship with the new resources on it. And see what I mean when you get that really good close-up look. They do look like flying orcas, man. They really look like orca whales. And that's why we call them the flying orcas.
Anomaly analyzed.
Just a quick little side joke from the first episode, if you didn't get a chance to hear it. Basically, in the Surviving Mars community on Twitch and on Twitter, we call them the flying orcas because the design and the paint of the actual spaceships look like orca whales. Just to give you a little information about that. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna step away while you guys continue to watch the time lapse, and we'll come back when the next big thing is. I think the next thing we're gonna do is install oxygen
Research
creators.
complete.
So we'll come back when that is situated.
Vehicle battery low. Sector scanned. Anomaly analyzed.
Alright, so here we are. We are actually going to go ahead and start the production of oxygen for the red planet so we can get things situated. How that is done is you take a device called a Moxie, and it basically just creates oxygen. And then what you do is you want to put in some oxygen storage tanks that sit directly right next to them, so that way it can store up the air. And usually, like, a good suggestion is you always want to put like 2 oxygen tanks, or at least 2 to 4 oxygen tanks, like right outside of a dome, so that way if anything goes wrong, that dome has a oxygen connection that is directly right there next to it. Also right here we are putting down the fuel refineries. The fuel refineries are definitely needed. They do create the fuel that rocket ships need to go back and forth. Even though the ships can create their own fuel, it's faster when we have a fuel refinery doing it for us. And the fuel refinery just creates fuel using water. So that was the reason why water was such a high priority, to make sure it was an abundance of it. There we go. And as you see, they are getting everything connected. It's saying it's low power. I forgot to put in the Stirling generators that we brought up, so we go ahead and get those 2 installed.
Research complete. Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
Getting more research, queue up some more stuff to get organized, because you don't want to waste those research points, because they every daily you get more and more, so you want to just use them up as they go. And we're moving pretty fast through the research tree at this point, looking at what we already cleared so far. I haven't really touched the social bar yet because we don't have any colonists on the map. So once we start getting colonists on the map, then that's when we'll start working on the social tree of that research stem. Alright, so we are 2/3 of the way complete for getting ready to have colonists actually on the red planet. We got a good supply chain over here, got lots of concrete, got good water, gonna have good fuel production. So that's that.
Vehicle battery low. Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
Alright guys, so this is going to be coming towards the end of episode 3 of Surviving Mars. I hope you guys are enjoying this Let's Play. Hope you guys enjoy this actual time lapse of the actual me playing Surviving Mars so far, and I hope you all are actually learning and enjoying the content that you're seeing. Please feel free to hit that like button if you do, and smack that subscribe button so that way you get notifications when we do upload new additional content. As well, check us out over on Twitter, and that's at SoulfulSax Gaming. I'm catch you guys later. Have a wonderful afternoon, and have a great 4th of July.